So a bit of a different video for you today, but I wanted to take a deeper dive into Pokemon Pocket after some of the news we just got at Worlds 2024. And I want to talk about it because I had initially written this app out as just another TCG Live or another silly way to spend money on packs that I'm never going to use, but the more details we get about it, the more I actually think I might want to use it. So starting with the new news, the release date is October 30th, which is great. We knew it was going to be this year, so it's awesome that it's not that far from now, and you can pre-order this in the App Store and iOS or Android if you want, which I thought was going to be something cool. You know, you could get some pre-release information if you download the app. So I went to the App Store and did it, and it's basically just a notification that you can download it when it comes out. But this announcement inspired me to look a little bit deeper, and I'm interested in the gameplay that we're getting. And what I thought was going to be just another TCG Live could actually be an expedited version of the game, and something that's a little bit easier to play casually, which would be great. There are plenty of times that I've been in a dentist waiting room or just sitting on the couch and I had the urge to play a Pokemon TCG game, but something has distracted me and I've had to just scoop and quit the game. So any version of this that's a little bit quicker has my interest, and it might also be borrowing a little bit from Magic the Gathering. So shout out to PokeBeach here for, of course, being a great source of information, but here are some of the differences between the TCG we have now and Pokemon Pocket. So basically you can only have up to 3 benched Pokemon instead of 5, and then instead of taking prize cards, you'll gain points for everything you knock out. So some Pokemon will be worth 1 point, some of them will be worth 2 points, and I think you build points as the game goes on to win, rather than taking prize cards. And something interesting with this energy zone is that it doesn't appear there will be energy cards in the game. Instead of taking cards from your deck and placing them in the energy zone, which is how it might intuitively feel, it just says to take energy from that zone to use for your Pokemon. Now, please don't roast me for this because I don't play Magic the Gathering. I've done a couple intro level tutorials, but it seems like this energy zone in Pokemon Pocket will be a little bit like using mana from your lands in Magic the Gathering. And that's just one tactic that could make this game a little bit simpler and move a little bit quicker if we're not pulling energy from our decks or doing things with them on the board. We're just drawing from an energy zone pile in some way. So contrary to my original beliefs, this isn't the TCG at all. It's a completely different game, thus why it's getting its own app. And as you know, this game can be kind of a lot to keep up with at a high level, with new cards coming out every month or two. So I think a version of this Pokemon TCG game that could be a little simpler, a little more casual, would get a lot more players in. So this could be a pretty smart move by Pokemon. But that's not the only thing this app has to offer. They've also shown in many trailers the different ways that you can go interact with the art as you pull it. So we saw this with Mewtwo in the trailer, where Mewtwo kind of jumps out at you and then the camera goes around it and joins into the scene. And I feel like this could be a really cool way to put a story into the game and to be able to follow along with something as we pull cards. There isn't as much of a reason to open virtual packs if it's just like a cool art in the game, but if there's something to follow as you open packs, as you pull new pieces of the puzzle, you get to see more of the picture, that would make sense to me. And this reminds me of Tears of the Kingdom a little bit, where you would go around the map and try to find those different areas with the little pool or that little droplet of water, and once you found it, you would get to see a scene that happened in the past, and as you put all the pieces together, you got to know the whole story. And I could be completely making this up, and this might not be a feature that happens at all, but if there's a story to follow with these different scenes and interactions, I think that would be worth spending money on. It could also be a good way to get younger kids involved in cards. If you get hooked on this digital app, you might think, hey, what about those cards I can get in person? Those physical shiny pieces of cardboard that I could hold. It's a very good entryway to get into this hobby. So that's about it. I just thought this app was a lot different than I originally expected, and I'm excited to see what else comes from it. Let me know if you had a similar thought or if this is what you've expected the whole time, but excited to see what happens on October 30th. Check out these videos if you're looking for some more Pokemon TCG content, and we'll see you in the next one.